Da 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 da. Hey guys, it's me, it's Shannon. It's Sheepless Needles, vegan podcast, not about being vegan. So I'm having this conversation in my head. So this just may be something I drop in litterbox thoughts in a later podcast. But one of the things that's been bothering me lately, with myself, not not with you, kind viewer, is that I kind of am feeling like I am comparing myself to other crafters, and it's giving me not anxiety, but just a little bit of negativity. And I really, really don't need to be doing that to myself. And I figure if I'm doing that to myself, other people probably are doing that to themselves as well. And I think it's time that we give ourselves a little bit of a reprieve from that. One of my thoughts was that I think what I'm going to do for 2023, one things I am going to actively work on is not use social media in the manner that I have been using it. Obviously, I'm going to upload to YouTube and do that, but I think I really am going to walk away from like Facebook and Instagram. I really honestly don't post that much on either medium, and if I do, it's usually like, hey, my podcast came out, or I don't know, cats are doing something funny, and I'll put that on there. But what I have found myself doing is like, it's not doom scrolling. I'm not a doom scroller. Like, I know when to walk away, but I just don't feel like it's bringing me joy to the point of, in relationship to the amount of time that I've spent on it, right? So maybe, is that Marie Kondo? If it is like, if it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. So that's going to be something that I think I'm going to actively work on, because truth be told, and I want to know if you feel the same way that I do about this, and maybe you do, maybe you don't. I feel like the time that I'm spending on social media, like checking out what my friends and my family are doing, not that I don't want to know what others are doing, but that's time that I should be using to concentrate on myself. And I think I'm using that time to avoid myself. And I need to change that. I need to make some active changes. I don't think it's a big secret that while I like my job, I don't love my job. It certainly is not my passion. Like living in Excel worksheets is not a passion of mine. It's just something that I can do. And I'm trying to kind of figure out, like, how can I do something that involves something that I'm passionate about, but that is also lucrative enough to allow me to live like a functioning adult, right? And I don't have the recipe that comes out with that baked cake yet, right? Like I just don't know what it is. And I'm certainly not going to know what it is if I'm spending my time on Instagram and Facebook watching other people live their lives in a kind of plastic way because it's not real. And I just, yeah, that is bothering me about myself. So I do want to actively work on that and change that. So if you've got something like that going on in your life that you know that you actively need to work on, there's no reason why we can't start that today, right? We don't need to wait till a new year pops up. The other thing that came up for me in one of my feeds, and this is kind of when I was like, you know what, fuck a bunch of this. I don't know why, but actually, it wasn't on Facebook or Instagram, shockingly enough. It was an ad on YouTube when I was watching another podcast, and it was for Jenny Craig. And it was like, lose the weight in 2023 and release the real you. Something like that. Very close to that. Meaning that to be authentically yourself, you have to lose weight. I mean, what kind of bullshit is that? That's not a message that I would ever want to put out there. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Losing numbers on a scale or losing weight does not equate to your worth as a human being. Your worth is not about your weight. And Jenny Craig sent the exact opposite message in this ad. And I just was dumbfounded because I was like, you bunch of assholes. Like, I just don't even understand anymore. And so the reason why I'm tying that in is because it is about how you view yourself and your self-worth and how I view myself. And I want to see if leaving those types of social media platforms to the side will help me improve my attitude towards myself. If it does not help me improve my attitude towards myself, then I probably need to be on medication, which is not a bad thing, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that. I try to maintain a level of mental and physical health, and I feel like I'm failing a little bit at both, and I'm going to make some changes so that I feel better, right? Mentally and physically. So I would just like to say, hey, Jenny Craig, a big fuck you for that ad. And yeah, that was one of the things that just stuck out, was like the number of people who probably watched that ad and immediately were like, that just bums me out. So I guess what I would like to see happen for me and for everyone I know, love, and care about, everybody who is in the Sheepless Needles family. I just want us all to understand that we do have worth, we do have a voice, and it's time to let it out, right? And you don't need to lose weight to let that voice out. I'm just putting that out there. You don't need anything other than yourself and building that confidence and that self-esteem. Come on. You got it. There we go. We got a cat in the lap who you may or may not be able to see eventually. I don't know. We'll have to. Oh, this is very precarious. Okay. This is, it's kind of there we go. Dayton Beer Company, solid brewery, little local hangout. Java Man cometh, exactly what you think. Coffee ale, and it is tasty, tasty, tasty. Sometimes they do Java Man with stuff in it, like there's a peanut butter Java Man that's really good, but they don't do that all that often. But it is quite tasty. And as you can see, it's a brown ale. And then with the coffee. Will it fit? Will it fit? Will it fit? Yeah. Okay, guys. Go other hand here. Cheers, bunnies. I love you. Cheers, Maggie in my lap. Cheers to you. Sorry, that was the most important one. All right, Maggie, I don't want you to type today because every time Maggie types, she shuts off the camera. Okay, let's just get this started. Today is Christmas Eve. I'm not a religious person, so to me, this time of year is like fun lights, snowmen, eggnog, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the decorations of this season, but not necessarily the message. Oh, that's horrible. Whatever you believe in and whatever you celebrate, I hope that you're celebrating this season. I hope it has brought you joy. I hope it brings those around you joy. You do you. The other thing that happens this time of year, and I shouldn't even say this time of year, this is weather related, so I guess it could really happen because I'm in Ohio, and listen, one day in Ohio, it'll be 70, and the next day it'll be -7. And so today I woke up, it was -7. I think it got up to 30 today, which is balmy because yesterday's high was -4. Here's the crazy thing. Next weekend, I think we're at 60 degrees. Crazy weather. My point being that this weather makes me want to hibernate. All I want to do is get on my couch with a blanket and my cat, cuddle, watch some YouTube, have a beverage, and go to bed. Literally, that's what I've been doing. So I know I need to work out some kinks up in the noggin, and I'll get there, but I'm taking a break from introspection, I guess. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just elbow your tail? Oh, look, here's some Maggie. I just Look at that kitty. You're so pretty. Do you want to get down in your bed? Here, why don't you hold the line? Here, I'm going to put you down in your bed. It's much better. You're not going to feel like you're going to fall off. Okay. The other thing is, okay, my head itches. Well, okay. Let's rewind. It is so cold. The humidity level in my house with humidifiers going is below 30%. My skin feels like it's flaking off my body. I think I have like I can't even tell you how many layers of moisturizer I have on right now, but my skin is still really tight and dry. So it's turning red, like I'm getting a rash. It's super pleasant. I'm sure half the country is going through this right now because I know the polar vortex was, oh, good Lord, I'm a mess, was affecting a lot of people. Yeah, so that's no fun. And then, oh, cat out of the bag. Obviously, I don't have really, I have mint green hair right now. If you can see that. I used a product called, I didn't bring it down with me. It's vegan. It's called Color Extreme Phase Out. It is a vitamin treatment that you are meant to, like, you mix it with water and it creates this kind of glue looking gel, which you put in damp hair, and then you put like a processing cap on, and you're supposed to sleep in it overnight. I can't sleep in something like that overnight. I would rip that cap off and that shit would be everywhere, right? So I just put it on. I've done 2 treatments. So I did one and I only lasted 3 hours. I was like, my head is itching. There's no harmful chemicals in it. So it's not bleach. It's not peroxide. It doesn't have ammonia in it or anything like that. So it's not something that is damaging. It's just something that is like when you have a wet goop on your head after a while, it's irritating and it gets itchy. So I made it through 3 hours yesterday. And then when I got up this morning, before I did like the chores of breaking them down and cleaning them, probably around 7, I went ahead and did a secondary treatment. I put the cap on, I put a hat on, I put a hoodie on. I kept it in my hair for 5.5 hours. So this is where we ended up at 5.5 hours with that. I gotta say, green, if you've never dyed your hair before, certain colors are really, really hard to get out of your hair because they stain your hair. And direct deposit or semi-permanent dyes, and I may be wrong on the science of this, so if I am wrong, put it in the comments, but my understanding is that they sit on top of your hair shaft versus a permeable permanent hair dye that actually goes into your hair shaft. So bleach goes into your hair shaft and removes the color. Something like a Manic Panic or an Arctic Fox or a Lunar Tides, like direct deposit dye, is sitting on top of your hair. It's not actually, it can't lighten your hair. So if you have dark hair and you put like a yellow Manic Panic on it, you may not even see it because it's not going to lift your hair. It doesn't damage your hair in that way. But the issue with some of those colors, direct dye colors, is they can stain. So reds in particular, look out. And from what I can tell, greens. Oranges seem to come right out. And I actually had, I don't know if you remember this, but before the green, I had what was supposed to be that smoky mauve. That came right out. Like that came out in I could see it coming out in the second treatment. So this is what I've got left over. I don't want to bleach my hair again. So I think what I might do, I don't know what color I'm going to do. But needless to say, my point was with my head itching, I am just dry. My scalp feels dry. My lips are, everything is, it just itches. So I'm going to try my best not to touch this region of my body on this. It's not going to happen. I'm always touching something. So anyway, I have many choices of where I can go with this. Here is my dilemma. For those of you who dye your hair, or for those of you who are getting gray, and I mean, you can go gray in your 20s, so it doesn't matter where you are in the age spectrum on this. My hair naturally, like when I was young, and I'll see if Steve can throw in a picture of my hair, like when I was little, I had carrot orange hair. It is no longer carrot orange. And, you know, obviously your hair changes over time. Mine, I am lucky in one way that the gray that I have coming in looks silver or blonde. So I actually am looking like I'm a golden redhead, like more with gold hair than orange hair now. If I pick a darker dye, which at this point would be almost everything that I would pick, even the orange is darker than my natural color. When my hair starts growing in, it looks like I'm balding, you guys. So I was sitting on the couch, I think it was like 3 nights ago, and Steve walked in the room and just started laughing. He's like, Shannon, he's like, you completely look like you have your hair, like you've come out of a swamp and you're balding. Because I still had the green hair, but like the red coming in underneath it or the gold coming in underneath it. It's just not, it's something that's hard to maintain. Whereas if I go with something light like this, when my roots grow in, it's a little bit easier to let it go because it's going to blend a little bit better. Obviously, not much blends with mint green, but so at this point, I don't know because I have, you guys upstairs, the amount of hair dye I have is insane. I've got yellow, I've got orange, I've got bright orange. I have a red orange called Wildfire. Then I have Vampire Red. I've got Green Envy. I've got something, it's like a blue-green teal. I've got Plum Passion. I've got a natural auburn called Tiger's Eye. Like I have and Blue Panther, which is like a blue-black. The issue I'm having is it's like, it's just all of those, as soon as I get regrowth, then I either need to just deal with the fact that I'm looking like I'm balding or I need to address it, right? Well, I don't know where, I mean, I guess I am vain because I don't want to look like I'm balding. And there's nothing wrong if you're bald, like, you do you, but it's just, it's like a light in the night when you dye your hair a non-natural color. And then you have that root grow in that's lighter because it's just insane. So I don't know what to do, you guys. Do I try to get the rest of the green out and maybe do just pastel colors? I'm not opposed to pastel colors on me. I'm kind of okay with this. I don't know. What do you think? You let me know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to see the girl who does my hair, and I'm going to see, like, I don't think we're going to be able to get any more of this out, but certainly I think I could put like a lavender on top of this. I could do seafoam. It's pretty much seafoam now. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't mind the lighter color on me, which I'm surprised by because I'm, the little goth in me wants to be like, black is the color of my heart, whatever. Oh, I just spilled beer. Oh, we're doing it. Okay, so I have no idea where we went off on that tangent other than that it's cold outside. I hope you're keeping warm. And listen, I'm going to put this out there. If you know anybody who keeps animals outside, shame on them because domestic animals should not be outside. I don't think any animal should just be living outside like that, that you are responsible for. And you are concerned for their well-being, contact your local humane society or your animal shelter in your city. All cities have a cruelty officer that can be dispatched to go investigate neglect charges. It is considered cruelty to leave animals outside unattended in temperatures such as this country is seeing right now. The other thing I would add to that, and just as this is the bunny person in me, a lot of people come from like the 70s attitude, rabbits in hutches in the backyard. A lot of 4-H groups kind of believe in that. I'm going to tell you right now, domestic rabbits do not belong in a hutch in a backyard, period, end, stop, whatever you want to say. They belong inside, free to roam. It's kind of like when you kennel train a dog, they have a zone of safety. So this bunny abode here, they love. And like you'll notice periodically, like when the doors are open, they'll just be hanging out in there and they don't even care about coming out and running around. No animal should be subjected to sub-freezing weather and being ignored outside. It's insane. If you see it, report it. If it's someone you know and they just don't know better, educate them, because how would you feel if someone left you outside in -4-degree weather with frozen water bottle? Fend for yourself. Yeah, don't do it. So bring them inside. That's where they belong. PSA over. So I will show you what I've been knitting on. You guys, I have no... Oh, I'm sorry, Maggles. If you're going to sit in my lap, you might get bonked in the head. Okay, so I really have made zero progress on this. And like I said, I feel like I've lost my creative mojo. I've been in a funk. I'm not going to lie about it. I've just been in a funk. And I'm trying to snap myself out of it. I am taking care of myself. I'm making sure that I'm trying to eat better. I'm working out every day. I'm trying to do the things that I know are good for me, that make me feel better. I'm just going to keep up with that. But I don't even know if you can see that from here. I'm just working on the hem. So like it's upside down, right? I don't know how much more I'm going to do. I want it when okay, it's a rolled over hem that you sew in on itself or knit in on itself. I think I want it to be at least 2 inches, and it's at like an inch. Oh, it's not even at an inch right now, is it? Yeah, it's at about an inch right now. So I probably have another 12 to 16 rounds to do before I'm done with the hem. So this is the Painting Honeycomb sweater that I've been working on. You've seen it many times. I'm using Premier yarn. Basic Everyday Anti-Pilling DK in the color Raven. We talked about that last time. The other thing, and this is how I know. Okay, this is how I know I'm in a funk, other than just telling you I'm in a funk. Oh, Maggie, I'm sorry. I gotta get my angry uterus bag. All right, in the angry uterus bag. Hi, Eagles. You can't, it's so funny. I'm talking to this cat that you can't see. Like, what was that movie where it was the invisible rabbit? Oh, well. Okay, so anyway, I went into my stash. I think I might need to move you, sweetie. Or I'm just going to... Here, we got to share the chair, though. So I decided to knit Mr. Editor a Christmas gift, which he is going to get, but not get, because I've done nothing on it. So this is the Painting Honeycomb scarf. So I think, I don't know if I can show, I think, yeah, there we go. So the width is like that, right? And that's as much as I've done, because I'm just, okay. Maggie, you're, okay. But this is not working. This podcast should just be, how can I move without disturbing my cat? Are you getting down? What are you doing? Here, do you want help? Hang on. She needs some assistance. There you go. Good girl. Okay, so the yarns that I'm using are my stash yarns. And I don't know if you guys will remember, but I did a shawl. Oh, I don't know, a couple years ago. It was the spiraling cable shawl. If I have a picture of it, I'll make sure Mr. Editor puts it here. It was a great project. I really liked it. But these are this was the scrap from that. So these are 3 different colorways from Terrapin Fiberworks. So I'm using that, and then I'm using the Raven yarn as the framing for it. And there's also, oops, sorry, there's also this blue from Terrapin. Oh, what did I do here? Which I love. Ah, there we go. Look how pretty that is. Just a really pretty, pretty color. Oh, freedom! A yarn ball just made a dash for it. It's a running. Okay. Okay, that just felt, it doesn't even matter. So anyway, I started that. And when I tell you I started this, like, well before my last podcast, I just don't feel like knitting. You guys, I'm just like, my mojo is in the toilet. And I don't feel like doing a lot of things. So like today I was like, maybe I'll try to put makeup on. When I don't want to play around with makeup, I already know I'm in trouble. So, you know, Maggie, why are you in there? Hold on. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of editing in this. So I'm sorry, Mr. Editor. But okay, if you are new here, I have two cats. Maggie, who I've been talking about, is much older and she's actually in renal failure. She's doing really well. She gets IV fluids every day. She has a special food. It's Hill Science Diet KD, kidney disease or kidney care. And it is a high fat but lean, low protein. And I have another cat, Smithers, sorry, I just spaced out in the middle of my sentence, who is overweight and is on a weight control food, which is the exact opposite, high protein, low fat. Well, who do you think wants to eat whose food? So I had hidden Miss Maggie's food in her room. I just went in there and there's food everywhere because dumbass Smithers found it, flipped the bowl. And I mean, like when I say it's all over the place, it's all over the place. And he's asleep in her heated bed, which is why she's out here, not in her heated bed, because his big butt has taken it over. So here's to other hand, here's to Smithers. And I don't know if you can, oh, I just hit that. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, that's one ear. But do you see this? Do you want to know what that is? That's a piece of baseboard that Mr. One Ear has chewed away from the corner of the wall that is behind his tubes. Today is the day of destruction. Fitting that it's Christmas Eve. I have no idea what we were talking about, you guys, before that happened. No idea. Okay, so knitting, other activities, kind of in the crapper, not gonna lie. I don't know what I'm gonna do in 2023. And I think that that's gonna be, if you haven't figured it out, I don't follow any type of formula for my podcast. I know that there is a formula that everyone says you should follow and you get more subscribers and followers and blah, 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 blah. Listen, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I need a safe space for vegans to hang out, talk about whatever the fuck they want to talk about, and just not be bombarded by like graphic images that make us all want to cry. You know, this is just supposed to be a place to hang out and talk about craft, hobby, and, you know, life in general. So I'm never going to be, you know, needles at the ready. Like that's never going to happen. I'm never going to, and I don't care about being monetized. I don't care about, you know, sponsorship. These are things that aren't really important to me. What's important to me is that people who need this channel find this channel and maybe get a smile out of it, right? Like that's what I'm hoping for with this. So I'm trying to figure out for 2023, like how do I want to approach my crafts and my hobbies, and how do I want to reignite some of my mojo that has disappeared into the ether? And I don't know that I have the answer to that yet. Obviously, maybe getting some vitamin D and some sunlight would be good. Would be good, because that's probably part of it. I don't know. I don't know what 2023 is going to bring other than, you know, another year of age and a bunch of hobbies and crafts that I don't have enough time to, to do anything with. I don't know. So I guess my point would be, like a lot of times this time of year, everyone's doing these wrap-up videos like, look at everything I knitted over 2022. Blah, blah, blah. You're not going to get that shit with me. It's a journey, guys. I don't even fucking remember what I knit this year. I know what I haven't finished because it's sitting in bags on the floor. But other than that, you don't need to see that. I mean, if you want to see that, I guess that's another thing altogether. But I don't think that's what I don't think anybody wants to sit down and watch somebody show them what, you know, they accomplished versus what you haven't accomplished. And then you just feel like shit. And I know you're not supposed to compare yourselves to other people, but we all do it. And there are times when I'll watch a podcast, I'll be like, why am I even filming? Because I'm a fucking train wreck in comparison to these people who are uber talented, you know, and there's other people who are just so talented and I can't figure out, do you sleep? How do you do everything you do? And then I'm thinking, is it your age? Are you just really young and you just don't need that much sleep? Because that's not me. And I don't ever want to make someone watching one of my podcasts feel less than or feel like I should be doing better than I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like if I have ever said anything that has made someone feel that way, wow, do I absolutely apologize from the bottom of my heart, because that is never my intention, because I know what that feels like. And that certainly is not, I don't ever want to do that to someone else because it's a shitty feeling, right? So with that in the back of all of our noggins, I don't know how I'm going to approach 2023. Part of me thinks that I need, do I need to pick up? No, okay, you're right. Sorry. I just need to make sure Smithers isn't getting into the new bowl of food. Part of me thinks that maybe I want to just film once a month and do a monthly podcast, because then maybe it wouldn't be so like frenetic and crazy. But the other part of me is like, it's more like a journal and a hangout session. And I don't think that I need to produce items on a bi-weekly basis to say, hey, look what I did. Like, I just don't think that's the point of this. I think the point of this is like, this is where I'm at in life. Hang out with me. How are you doing? You know? So I don't know how I'm going to approach 2023. I have no idea. Here's what I will tell you. The next time you see me, I will have a different hair color. What will it be? I don't know. Hi, Max. I just don't know. So the other thing, beyond the knitting, I did get some stuff in the mail. I did get my premier order with my sweaters quantity worth of Raven, which, you know, I didn't need. But let me show you what else I got. Maggie, I'm going to hurt you if I don't put you down, because I'm going to squash you. This cat, she's just so sweet. That's the other thing. I think we should have a podcast about other podcasters' cats, because I love watching other people's cats on videos. Like, I can't even tell you. It's so stupid. Their dogs, their cats, their bunny, whatever it is. I love it. And I just feel like we need to have the cats of crafters. I don't know. You come up with it. Okay, so this is, I need glasses and I don't have them near me, and I probably should find them because I will not be able to read the label. Hold on. Excuse the glare. Oh, this is pretty. Okay, so I saw a pattern for a cardigan, and there is a podcast, and it's called, I'm going to butcher it, so I will definitely, it's not vegan, okay? So don't at me. I think it's called Sip Sip Knit, and there is a wonderful woman in my knitting group who is friends with the Sip Sip knitter. And in this podcast, she is wearing this like chunky, it starts with a Kinikin, maybe? I don't know. I will put it in the show notes. But when I saw hers is like a really, I think it was an orangey corally color. I was like, ooh, I want to punk rock that. So I got this, which is, let me get to the right. Okay. Bamboo Chunky. And it is 80% anti-pilling acrylic and 20% rayon from bamboo. You guys, this is so soft and there's no squeak. Like, when I say no squeak, I mean that acrylic is nowhere to be found in this. So I think I want to use this for that. It wasn't like a lot of yardage either, was the surprising thing to me about it. So, the reason, like, the other thing I like about Sip Sip Knit, and if I don't have that name right, I'm going to feel really, really stupid. is the woman who does it is a runner as well. And I just feel like it's very interesting to me to watch other people who have the same, absolute same interests as you do. Like, it's just fascinating. And I think she has 2 dogs. I might be totally butchering all of this. I may have just made it all up. I don't know. Anyway, I really enjoy it. So check it out if you have a chance. But again, that is not a vegan podcast, so don't at me on that. So this is more of the Bamboo Chunky. Oh, Raven. And then I got, oh, okay. Did I get this for that instead? Oh, no. Oh, this is what I just got because I didn't know what it was. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I was like, I know I can find something to do with it. Okay, it's rustic, as you can see, and it is 100% acrylic. Okay, it still doesn't have that weird squeak to it, so it's still good. And this is the color charcoal. Oh, it's going up my nose though. Whoo! I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but I did get, how many yards is in here? 218. So I have like, what, 440 yards of it? I don't know. I'll figure out something to do with it. Something will occur with that yarn. The next thing that came is my last order with Terrapin Fiberworks for the year. And I'm in love with it. In love. You guys. Okay, so let me show you this one. So beautiful. Okay, this is Potomac fingering. It's 75% cotton, 25% linen. I mean, wait till you see the companion to this. Now, this one is called Beats. You guys, are you friggin' kidding me? Give me a friggin' break. This is kale. Russian kale, excuse me. Same base. Friggin' gorgeous. You know. In love. So I think what I'm going to do in January is I'm going to lay out all of the unused hanks from Terrapin and from my other yarn club and kind of like outline projects that I want to do. I kind of know what I want to do with these, but I'm not ruining it, and we'll go over that in January. That'll give us something to look forward to, because January doldrums, I mean, you know, holidays are over. And it gets crappy outside. Oh, and it came with, oh my gosh, super cute. Can you see this? I hope it's in focus, because that is a beat on the far left and little spades, you guys. Oh. All right, and I think this just came, well, I don't think. I know that this just came today. I think this is my last BZY Peach, and it's a doozy. Because it's beautiful. You guys. And the funny thing about this, it's just, there's nothing funny about it. I just love it. This is 100% Pima cotton. It's DK weight. And it's Merry Holidays and Happy New Year is the colorway. No complaints, you guys. Beautiful. Will I do any yarn clubs? Well, thanks for asking. You didn't ask. I don't think I'm going to do any yarn clubs next year. I think I have enough yarn squirreled away that I'm not going to. And for a couple reasons. I like the way that Terrapin Fiberworks did it, where it's not an auto ship, where you get to pick if you want to buy it or not for the month. And the first week of the month she offered it, and then it's gone. So you have a week to decide. If you want it, you order it. If you don't, you don't, right? So I kind of like that, because I did skip a month where I was kind of like, oh, like I appreciated the colorway, but just really, it just did not resonate with me at all. Which is funny because it was a mustard yellow and a brown, which normally would be something that I would gravitate to, but apparently I don't gravitate to that in yarn. And I think we had this conversation many moons ago where I think that I am one way, but in reality, I am the opposite. So, like, in one way, it's like punk rock Shannon with everything is black and dying, but I only knit in bright pink. It's the weirdest dichotomy. I cannot explain it. It's like I have an inner cheerleader pep squad going on inside. It's like I'm a pessimist, but not really. I'm really an optimist hiding in a pessimist clothes, however you want to say that. I think that I am one way, but my choices tell a different story. And that always makes me smile because I will always be true to my choices and back them up because they're mine, right? And I just think it's funny that it comes out in my yarn. I don't know. I'm going to do a very short vlog series on my Trailhead Yarns advent calendar. So it finally came in the mail, I want to say on Friday, and it's now Tuesday, but it's a 12-day advent. So I technically should have started it yesterday, but my day got away from me and work has been like bananas. So I thought I would open at least one of them today, like right now on break, and then maybe I'll do the other one on my lunch. But let me grab the box. Okay. So I think there might have been a little bit of a hiccup because I did see other people opening some things online already. And so I emailed them or emailed Trailhead and just was like, I just wanted to double check when my order was shipping. And I didn't get a response. And then the next morning after I had sent that email, I got a shipping notification. It got here in time. It's not a big deal. I do believe that one of the ladies who runs Trailhead was really ill, and I didn't know that. So I felt a little bit guilty, but always good to check when your order isn't showing up. Just shoot an email. You never know what might be happening in this world of ours. So super, super cute. Oh, I see something I didn't want to see, but that's okay. What's this? What? Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Sorry. All right. We're just going to start with number 1. All right. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to point the camera in a different way so you're not staring at this. What is happening? I've got this weird. Oh, fuck you guys. I'm a mess. All right. Let's point this down. Look at all that. Look at all the cat hair on my arm. Oh my God, life, you guys. Okay. Oh, look. It's a Shannon color if I've ever seen one. Cloud gray. I don't know what the name of it is, but I love it. It's so soft. Trailhead yarn, their yarn is phenomenal, you guys. If you have not had a chance to use it, hop on it if you get a chance, and you won't regret it. All right, number 1 down. Ooh, it's a sagey green. Look at that. Please look at this bunny, you guys. I hope you can hear me. I know I'm way off mic. That's Lebo. He is maxing and relaxing. If he realizes that I am watching him, he will get up promptly. Oh, this is a brighter green. Let's do it. Let's do number 4. Look at that. That's a beautiful color. That looks great against my hair. Okay, so this is number 4. Let's take a look here. So far. I'm waiting for one ear to get that out. He's so cute, you guys. The mic wasn't on when I started, so I don't think you could hear the pitter-patter of his feet. So, yeah, good morning. I'm a little tired. Okay, so we're on day 6 of the Advent, but last night we had a D&D one-shot at the house for Krampus, and it was so much fun. But, you know, this girl is usually sound asleep before 9:30. I didn't crawl into bed until like 1:30. Now, I only had 2 beers, so I'm not like hungover. I'm tired hungover, if that makes sense. Tangerine. Okay, it's getting a little bit blown out because I don't have my secondary light on yet, but this is definitely like a tangerine color and it's looking more yellow. I'm way behind, you guys. I am 3 behind. Listen, it's been like nutty as all get out. My work is out of control. Life is a little bit out of control. I'm a little bit out of control. I'm trying to take my lunch and I'm just not getting anything accomplished. So we're going to do this instead, and that's that. So, okay, it's looking more salmon colored up against me, but that's, I think, because of what's going on here. This is really a really cute pink, you guys. It's kind of like a Peeps pink, and you cannot tell, but that's what color that is. 10. That's number 10. Right on top. We have 11. We've got a mess. Oh God, we have tape everywhere. Okay. All right, here's oh, hey, get off that. I got stuff stuck in the box. I don't know what's going on. All right, we have number 11. Oh, it's pretty. That's like a storm cloud gray. Now, this is the one that came before it. So these are definitely gradient sets, right? All right, let's do, whoop, sorry, 12. Okay, yep, there we go. So that gradient set would be, all right, so this is 10, 11, and 12, right? I can't remember which order these all came in, so we're just gonna, and I believe this is 7, 8, and 9. Oh, I'm probably way off on how these are going. Huh. I think this is right. I'm not sure. So this would be 4, 5, and 6. Whoa. Please stay there. And then I don't know how these were. I think I have these backwards. I think I totally messed this up. Okay, the order doesn't matter, but there's another 3, right? So, okay. Go. Oot. This is everything. Now, it comes with one full hank. And there were 2 different versions. There was the naughty version and the nice version. When you ordered it, you also could order the opposite's full-size hank, which I did. So this is the hank that came for the naughty. And let me see if I can give you a little information here. All of this is the Appalachian Trail yarn. It's 65% cotton, 35% nylon. It is fingering weight. There are 435 yards in this. I don't remember the yardage on the minis, but whatever. And the colorway is called Bob's Your Uncle. Okay. So that Let's see if I can figure out a way. So there you go, right? The nice hank is something I would never have purchased, right? Whoop, sorry. Same base, and this is polar bear. So to give you an idea what that would look like, right? Okay. Here's my commentary about this box. I will use all of it, as I always do. I don't like to leave negative reviews online. I think it's a waste of time. So I don't want to say that I have a negative review because I don't. I love Trailhead Yarns yarn. I love it. The quality is phenomenal. It is so soft. Their colorways are so fun. However, I don't think I would ever repurchase an advent calendar from them because I don't know why I wasn't expecting it to be gradient. And they may have advertised, they may have said it's a gradient kit and I missed it. And shame on me. But it's also when I heard the word, okay. And this is going to be the punk rocker in me. When I heard the word naughty, my mind immediately goes dark and murky. I'm not thinking about like Pez colors or Easter egg colors or anything like that. And obviously, I was incorrect. But it's an advent calendar. It's all a surprise. So it is. They are not like, if I could buy minis on my own, these are probably not minis I would have bought. So there's that. However, I think for a mass-produced advent calendar that is vegan, a vegan advent calendar for yarn, I think it's incredible. I think most knitters would love, love, love it. My goth girls out there, probably not for us, and that's okay. That's okay. Listen, I will knit many of things out of this. They may be gifts, they may not. They may be for me. I may do a little Stephen West shawl extravaganza with a bunch of different colors in it. And I think that there's a way. I don't think I'll use the purple or the polar bear with it, but if I framed that in like a navy blue or a dark black, it could look like stained glass. I think that would be beautiful. And there is a shawl. It's called the butterfly shawl. And if I can find something on it, I'll put it here, but I'm not guaranteeing that. I think that this calendar, the yarn from this would be perfect for that. But like I said, nothing that I won't ever do it again. So there's that. I hope that didn't sound like it was being negative towards Trailhead Yarns because they're really a great company. Please support them. They're really awesome. And the yarn is great quality. I don't know how many times I need to say that. It's just personal preference about color. Okay, so advent calendar done. And that's it. That's the yarn and the knitting. And the only other thing I have to talk about is a little gaming update. So I am a huge fan of really dark, traumatizing, gritty role-playing games. In terms of computer games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, I love. You die a lot and I love it. It's just challenging. It's really hard. But they're so fun. Dark Souls also has a board game, which we own, and we pulled it back out and played it yesterday, and I had a great time. I hope my husband did because I think he had fun. Let me see if I can get to it here. Because there's a little bit of a story of something that happened that's kind of funny. So, okay. This is, I don't have a full game box down here, but this is what it looks like. This is the character expansion. The board game comes with, I believe, 4 base characters. So it's for 1 to 4 players, or probably 2 to 4 now that I've said that. I think you need at least 2 people. I don't think you can play this solo, but maybe you can. You know what? You probably could play this by yourself. So 1 to 4 players. And it comes with a rule book, and here's the deal. Games like this are very rule heavy. so that when you go to set it up, it can be very overwhelming because you have no idea what you're doing or what's going on. And it can be frustrating and you can walk away and never pick it back up. That is Dark Souls. You have to stick with it because once you understand the core rules and how it works, you're fine from that point forward. But getting to the point where you understand it, I highly suggest watching some YouTube videos. But the board game is totally worth it. And they've had 2 expansions and they've had character expansions. So this expansion, I don't know how many did it add? Oh my God, my nose. Added 6 new character classes. And I think the 6 and the 4 from the core set, I think those are the full 10. I think that's the full gamut of characters that you can select in the game. So anyway, it comes with miniatures. It comes with everything you need. It is a dungeon crawler where you are fighting big bads. It is brutal. It is like when we first started playing, we couldn't get out of the first scenario. We played it through 3 times and I didn't even get to my turn. Steve had already died. So like finally we're like, maybe there's like, are there rule updates? And there were. They had updated the core rules and they had kind of given you an easy mode is the way I would describe that in gamer lingo. If you play Diablo, this was beyond like a hell mode normally. So expect to die because you will. If you download the rule, like you can get them online, but there are updated rules that simplify things and also make things much more advantageous for the players versus the monsters. So what we did is we changed over to the new rules and then we were fine, but we are now debating whether it's almost too easy. And I'm going to tell you from like a Dark Souls, Elden Ring vantage point, too easy. Like if you are not frustrated by dying, then you're not playing it right. Like, back me up if you've played any of the trilogy or Elden Ring. You just die a lot, and that's part of the fun. And part of the reason why you're dying a lot is you're learning the mechanics of your enemy. Your enemy has definite actions that they take on repeat. And if you can figure out the actions that they take on repeat, then you change your behavior because they will not change theirs. You die a lot until you learn their behavior pattern. Same thing with the board game. Highly recommend. We are going to play a campaign of it, which means instead of just playing through one dungeon, there's like a storyline and you defeat bosses in a particular order. So if you have a chance to play this, play it. I have no idea like how much it goes for now. But if you have like a gaming bar or a game store near you, see if they've got one that you can try. Okay. The whole reason why I wanted to talk about Dark Souls, I don't know how long I've been going here, but it's probably way too long. Okay, so months and months ago, I knew that there was a role-playing game, that Dark Souls did a tabletop RPG. So in the Dark Souls family, let me just back this up. There is a video game that you can play on your PC. You can probably play it on Xbox. I don't know what consoles it's on. I have it on PC. And there's 3 games. There's 3 Dark Souls, 1, 2, and 3. They are brutal. You will die a lot. You will laugh a lot. You just need to know when to walk away when you get frustrated. That's the video game. There is a Dark Souls board game, which is what I was just talking about, where it's a physical board that you have on your table, physical minis, you roll dice. There's not really a role-playing story involved. It's like a dungeon crawler. Dungeon crawlers are basically, you're stuck in a room with enemies and you fight until you've killed all the enemies or until you're killed, and then you move on. That's the way that works. That's the board game. There is also a card game, which is what they call board game light. We have the card game. I'm going to tell you, I think we played it once or twice. I don't highly recommend it. I can't tell you why, because my feeling is if you're going to learn the rule set, just play the fucking board game, right? Now, what happened is earlier in the year, like January or February, and it probably in 2020, I don't know when the Kickstarter was, they decided to do a tabletop role-playing game, which is not a board game. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's Dark Souls. So you have someone who is telling a story or is navigating a story where you and other people are player characters in the story. You create your own character in the Dark Souls world. So there was a book that you could kickstart. We did not do the Kickstarter because I was like, I don't know how I feel about it because it was a little bit expensive. And I was like, it could be good or it could be bad. So we waited, and I'm really glad we didn't, because when everyone got their books, apparently there were huge errors, like printing errors, missing pages, upside down pages, blank pages. So they addressed all the errors and reprinted everything. So everyone who did the Kickstarter actually finally got a good copy, and I think it was in October that those went out. At the same time, they made it available to the public, which is where I come in. So I purchased for Steve the collector's edition of, look at that gold leaf, you guys. Woo, look at that shine. So this is the tabletop RPG base book, and there's only one book, so this is it. And when you open it, the first thing you see in true fashion, but what it is it has everything you need to build a character, everything you need. So it tells you how to use the dice, how to play. It gives you backgrounds, character concepts. So basically, if you're going to play the role-playing game, you're starting at ground zero, and you and your other player characters, or your other friends who are playing with you, will be telling a story with the characters that you create, however you want to tell it. So it can go anywhere. There is from my understanding from my husband, I have not looked thoroughly in the book, there's not actually an adventure in here. So if you're going to pick this up, you probably need to already be familiar with role-playing games. And if you are the dungeon master, you would need to be familiar with world creating and all of that. If I find out that there is an adventure in here, because I can't believe there's not. Like, I just don't understand how there couldn't be. But maybe there's not, you guys. I don't know. So anyway, here's the story. This is why I'm bringing this up. Is I get a shipping notification, and I go to the tracking, and this little bad boy is in Tennessee. So I was like, oh, hopefully it'll be here by Christmas, right? And this is probably like on Wednesday of this past week. So I'm on break from work, and I go upstairs, and the mail gets delivered, and I open the mail and I see the package from Steamforged Games. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it got here. So I'm super excited. I bring it down here, and I put my glasses on, and I look down. I'm like, why is Steve's name on the label? I mean, I paid for it with my credit card. Like, it's my account. It should be in my name. And I don't remember. I was like, I don't think I said it was a gift. I don't think there was an option to give it as a gift. Maybe there was. Maybe I'm just totally spaced out. So I didn't want to open it. So I was like, oh, I'll check the tracking number and just make sure that everything's okay. So I checked the tracking number on the label versus the tracking number for the one in Tennessee, and they're totally different. And I have not opened it yet. And I'm like, son of a fucking bitch. We bought each other the same fucking gift. So Steve was out that day. I don't know where he was. He came home, came down here, and I hadn't opened the box yet. I was like, so did you order anything? Did you have anything coming for Christmas that I need to be aware of? No, I don't think so. Because, we weren't really buying each other gifts. I told him I did buy a gift for him, but it was last minute and not, he didn't need to get me anything. He's like, no. I was like, you didn't order any books? No, what are you talking about? I was like, okay, so you didn't order anything from Steamforged Games? No. Well, I was like, really? So I handed him the box. I was like, well, this came. He's like, oh, yeah, it's the Dark Souls role-playing game. I just looked at him. I was like, yeah, I ordered that for you for Christmas. He's like, Shannon, you knew I ordered this. We talked about it. And I didn't order the collector's edition because we didn't know if it would be worth it. You guys, I have a hair in my eye. I have no recollection of having that conversation. I'm sure we did. I just do not remember it at all. So now we have 2 copies. We have a standard copy and the collector's edition. If you were in the market for this, the only difference between the two is the gold leaf and the cover and the bookmarks. I love Dark Souls. I would have wanted the collector's edition anyway. However, we will probably run games using the other edition because if it gets beat up, it gets beat up and I don't really care. I just think it's funny that for Christmas, we got the same book. Oh, great minds, you guys, great minds. So that's our Christmas present to each other. Dark Souls. Seems rather, appropriate for the holiday and for Krampus. So yeah, you guys, that's it. That's all I got. So that's my story about Dark Souls. There is going to be an Elden Ring board game. I'm not going to buy it yet. I want to wait for it to come out and I want to look at the reviews for it. And I say that because Steamforge, I love them and they either nail it or they don't. And I don't know how else to say that. They have another huge board game that they did called Bard Sung, which I was super stoked about. And we tried to play and I was like, I would rather play Gloomhaven or Dark Souls than this. And I backed the Kickstarter. And listen, I will freely tell you something here. I do not back projects on Kickstarter because I'm expecting a perfect product at the end. I back things on Kickstarter to help support either a company or an individual produce something that I know will be fun and will be enjoyable for people. Like if I can support an artist, that's what I'm going to do. Meaning that when I supported the Bard Sung Kickstarter, I wasn't supporting it because I am so into this game and that's what I want. I supported it because I support Steamforge and I want to make sure that they have the funds that they need to be creatively and actively producing products for, the market at large. And, to be in a market for like Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all of that, you can't do that without a budget. And most small companies don't have the budget to do that. And that's why Kickstarter is important. That is why I back Kickstarter projects. So whether I ever play Bard Sung or not, I don't know. I may donate it to like my local game store so they can open it up and, have people play it locally. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do. But I do want to mention, I think a lot of people complain about Kickstarter, that companies are abusing the use of it. And I just don't agree with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with pre-selling something and knowing how many people want to buy it so that you can budget for it properly versus having no idea if what you're going to produce is going to be something that somebody wants, right? So to me, I will always look at supporting Kickstarters when and where I can and when I have the budget to do it. So right now I have Frosthaven coming, which is the sequel to Gloomhaven. I'm very, very excited about that. I know that a lot of people have already gotten their copies of Frosthaven and a lot of people have not. And I'm in the have not, and I'm okay with that. I will wait. I've waited 2 years. I can wait, or however long it's been. I can wait for when it shows up because I've got enough other games to keep me occupied in the meantime. But I am very excited about that. There was a woman who reviewed it who I was like, okay, I am very excited for this game now. So I have that coming. I have Questonomicon, it's a D&D quest book. I have, another D&D world book about wastelands that I can't remember what the name of it is. And again, I will back D&D books because putting that stuff together and getting people writing materials and artwork and stuff, I will always support that because it's such a creative avenue. And even if they fail and even if they're not great books, like I still want to support people who are trying, right? I would want people to support me. And I do want people to support me. I want people to watch this podcast and have a good time, right? So I kind of want to return the favor to other people who create things that I enjoy. And Dark Souls, let me just tell you something. I've gotten many hours of enjoyment out of it. Elden Ring, I've gotten a phenomenal amount of hours. Skyrim and ESO, can't even tell you. Like, literally, Bethesda Studios has given me so much happiness in my life. I can't even quantify it. You know? And so I guess that's where we're at with that. So I don't know why I just went off on this tangent about Kickstarter, other than to say, if you've never backed a Kickstarter and you don't like, you're not sure if you should or whatnot, give it a whirl on a smaller one. And it's got to be something that you believe in, like something like it could be dice. Like I do a lot of D&D Kickstarters. Like I back dice, I back books, I back, because that's one of my favorite hobbies. And I want to support the creative community and keep that creative community going. I think it's awful when you have somebody who has something that they need to get out via writing or via artwork or via fiber. Like when you have that creative mojo and you need to get it out, but you don't have the medium or the means to get it out, that's a horrible feeling. So I always want to support people in that way when I can. I can't always do it. I don't always have the budget to do it. But when I do, I want to be part of that community, right? That's all I'm saying. Listen, just drink some beer. Look at that bunny loaf back there. What is happening? So I might film one short before the end of the year, but I kind of doubt I will. I think this is it, you guys. I think this is the close on 2022. Sheepless Needles. Giving you a sayonara 2022. Yeah, it's been a bizarre year, right? So let's just look forward to 2023. Good things that happened in 2022, Beyonce. Addams Family, Wednesday. Oh, I did finally watch Wednesday. I loved it. I thought it was super cute. So whoever told me to watch it, thank you, I did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need a retrospective on this shit show that we've had. Stay warm. Drink beer. I don't know. Drink V8. Drink your beverage of choice. Take care of yourself so you can take care of one another. Love yourself so you can love one another. Help some people out. Dude, if you've got a walking mailman, bring him in for some hot chocolate or give him a thermos. I'm just saying. We need to start taking care of each other. We need to do a better job. I need to do a better job. I think I need bourbon. I don't think this is strong enough. Okay. I am really going to wrap this up. Listen, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in this year. I cannot tell you from the bottom of my black heart how much I appreciate it. I do this podcast as a journal for me, in the hopes that me sharing my reality makes other people feel like maybe they're not so weird. And there's nothing wrong with being weird. Embrace your weirdness because it's what makes you, you. Don't ever let someone try to muffle your weirdness. The things that people tell you that you need to change, like you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that. Those are the exact things that you need to scream from the mountaintop because that's what makes you you. And that's what I want to see in 2023. I want to see all of us embracing whatever it is that makes us unique, right? I'm not saying we're all special snowflakes, but I am saying that we all have a voice and every voice is important. Every voice is a note in a larger song, right? Let's just end on that. Cheers, dudes. I'll see you guys in 2023 with a new hair color and a new attitude, like a pointer sister. You better look out. Toodles.